Hello, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Elite Dangerous and Elite Dangerous Odyssey. Update 7 is now with us and is live in-game. It was updated on the 22nd of September and now people are getting to grips with the quality of life, additions, fixes and a whole plethora of items that have been added into the game as part of this update. It is a big one, so let's look at some of the items. Now, I'm not going to read out the entirety of the patch notes because they are extensive. I'm going to pick out some of the items that I thought were worthy of note and worthy of interest. You can go and read it yourself, and it might make for an interesting read when you're sat in the little room. Anyway, starting off with the updates of note, one of the main things I think are going to happen in regards to multiplayer and regards to the ground-based missions are going to be the addition of anti-air turrets, which have now been added to the conflict zones. Now, they do state in the notes that you've got to approach the turret, cut the turret, and then the turret goes down. And when we say cutting the turret, go into the access panel, disabling it that way, and that then allows you and your buddies to come in and lay down some fire from space and take out some additional people. This can be quite an interesting game dynamic and one that I'm really looking forward to. Now, if you ever thought you're on your way to a destination in an Apex taxi and thought, I don't want to go there anymore, well, just for you, Apex Taxi Redirection is now a thing. You can now redirect your Apex shuttle mid-flight. Redirection options are now available from the navigation list, galaxy and system maps. So no longer will you have to be just stuck in that Apex going to a destination when all your buddies are typically going somewhere else. This is a great quality of life improvement and again something that I think's been lacking all the way from day one, and I'm really glad that they've put it in. Enforcer units are also now a thing. Opponents will be rocking the good old Enforcer cannon, rocket launchers as it will. Now, I've been a good advocate of using the rocket launcher on my Dominator build and letting the opponents really have it. Letting rip with one of those, and then after that also letting rip with a sniper rifle and then a plasma pistol. It does look the tables have now turned in the conflict zone when these units are going to be walking around. As to whether we're going to see these Enforcer units walking around in other missions, as yet has not been announced or released. Certainly not in the patch notes, but it may be an addition to some settlements a little bit later on in the game if they prove to be a success. I think marry the Enforcer units with the new added anti-air turrets, which have now also been added to the conflict zones, and you're going to get quite a challenging experience as opposed to just shooting fish in a barrel with your nice engineered guns and engineered suits. Also, with the inclusion of Update 7, Frontier have increased module and bookmark storage. Commanders can now enjoy an increase in module and bookmark storage to a limit of 200 each. Yes, you can get 200 modules now, up from the current 120 as what it was. If you remember, that was raised as well. But I suppose all these new modules you've got coming in regards to community goals and engineered modules, you need a few more. Personally, I think it should be a lot more than that, because if you've got a fleet carrier, that would be a good reason to go and get a fleet carrier and go through the grind to go and get one. Hey, that's just my opinion as well. So yes, an increased module and bookmark storage at a limit of 200. A very welcome addition to the game. Other items that have been fixed as well is that around Thargoid damage. Thargoid hearts were at one stage invincible. That's now being fixed. Also, other issues are in there around the AI. AI in settlements will now register a crime. The enforcers are going to choose which weapon to use. Are they close enough to use a pistol, or they got distance to use a rocket launcher? For example, grenade throwing is now being replicated. All this stuff, the first person side of things, I think is really good quality of life and has been lacking for quite some time. There are new concourse areas as well in the station, so if you've got a very industrial station, then you're going to get an industrial palette inside the station. If you've got agricultural, then it's going to be really green, and you're going to have subtly different railings and all that sort of stuff. They fixed things like lip sync issues as well on Apex Frontline pilots. Not really a necessity, but it's great that it's been fixed. The conflict zones, a fix has been implemented there, which I thought was quite good for defending a helm in space conflict zones, awarding combat bonds from the opposing faction. That was really, really irritating in a conflict zone. They've also gone and done some work on crashes and stability as well, especially when players are joining a team at a point of interest. The system no longer occurs, so that crash has already been done. We've been having some of that problems on our stream. Also a crash that would occur when quitting while a shared mission invites are outstanding. It would crash quite a lot with that. And a crash that would occur while exiting to menu while using the terminals. That no longer happens. But the crash, the integral one for this, the crash when joining a team with a player who is currently at a mission point of interest in another system, that is key. We've done some work as well about access to some engineers, in particular Bill Turner. People couldn't get to them because there's invisible walls there. That was great. You can add now stolen tritium to a fleet carrier, and there's been quite a bit of work, I think, as well done with interactions in regards to the NPCs when you're at bases. You know, it's going to be the talky bits as well, what they do when they find a body, all that sort of stuff. More lighting and VFX improvements have been done, but they are kind of saying that that's been fixed now. But that we'll wait and see when we see the actual game in action. With missions as well, there are some inconsistencies in missions, what with missing text, that's been fixed. Illegal missions will now be highlighted in purple. That's a great quality of life improvement. Also with optimization, and that's a key thing I think for this update and the next update. They've done a lot of optimization around vehicle collision. They've done optimizations to lighting, as I just already mentioned, and also scatter rocks, hit checks, and also a minor optimization to AI movement as well. So all in all, really good. When you think about things that really have been affecting me, really, it's been the rendering, and I suppose a lot of the quality of life implementations and optimizations are going to come in the next update in regards to the first person aspect of things, which I think has been actually impacting everybody. So a good update, a very lengthy update. I'll put a link into the comments as well for people to have a look by themselves, but have a good look through. An awful lot of good work's been done by Frontier, and they should be applauded for their efforts. I've been Ricardo, thanks very much for watching. Check back for more videos in the series, and I'll see you soon.